Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely dismantle the intimidating, frankly exhausting myths that are holding you back from learning new skills. So if you've ever felt totally paralyzed by the sheer mountain of effort it takes to get good at something new, well, grab a seat. You are in exactly the right place. All right, let's dive right into a pain point I know we've all experienced. Think about that acoustic guitar currently gathering dust in the corner of your room, or that super expensive coding software you downloaded, opened exactly once, and then literally never touched again. Why do we consistently give up so early when we try to learn something new? Well, the culprit is actually a story we've been told for years. You see, we kind of trap ourselves by believing the famous 10,000-hour myth. We hear that massive, overwhelming number, and suddenly, the distance between knowing absolutely nothing and being great feels impossibly vast. We tell ourselves, look, I don't have a spare decade just lying around, so we never even lace up our boots to start. But, as you'll see today, applying that rule to everyday skills is just completely flawed. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the frustration barrier. Then, we'll compare Kaufman and Young, map out the 20-hour sprint, look at the transition to mastery, give you a solid 7-step protocol, and wrap up with your new intellectual filter. Okay, starting with number 1, the frustration barrier. We need to define the exact enemy we are fighting in those super vulnerable early stages of learning. So, what is this barrier? It's that agonizing window of gross incompetence where you just fail repeatedly and feel incredibly foolish. You know the feeling. Your fingers won't make the guitar chord shapes without buzzing, your code keeps crashing, your newly learned Spanish sentences sound super clunky. This psychological barrier, not a lack of talent or time, is the number one reason we quit prematurely. Moving into section 2, Kaufman versus Young, to break through this barrier, we're bringing together two absolute giants in the world of self-directed education. Now, when we compare these two, there's a really fascinating tension. Josh Kaufman, who wrote The First 20 Hours, is all about rapid skill acquisition, getting to good enough in just 20 hours by focusing on breadth and really de-risking the start. Contrast that with Scott Young, the author of Ultralearning. His goal? Deep mastery. That requires months of intensive focus, prioritizing depth, and aggressively breaking through plateaus. But here's the crucial insight. They aren't actually competing methodologies. They just solve different parts of the exact same problem. They merge perfectly into this 2-layer operating system for your brain. Think of it like this. Kaufman is your launchpad rocket, designed solely to blast you past the gravity of the frustration barrier. Young, on the other hand, provides the orbital architecture, giving you the rigorous structure to reach elite levels once you're already in space. All right, section 3, the 20-hour sprint. Let's zoom in on Kaufman's entry ramp to get you to casual competence as fast as humanly possible. The biggest trap we beginners fall into is procrastination by planning. We love to buy the shiny new books, watch endless YouTube tutorials, and neatly organize our digital folders. It feels like productive work, right? But it's a total illusion. The antidote here is radical directness. This means completely stripping away environmental friction. Take that guitar out of the case and leave it on a stand right in the middle of your room. Don't just read about the skill, start doing it immediately. Kaufman gives us 4 pretty aggressive commands here. First, ruthlessly deconstruct the skill into tiny, manageable subskills. Second, learn just the bare minimum theory so you can actually catch yourself when you make a mistake. Third, clear away those physical and mental barriers. And fourth, pre-commit to 20 hours of focused practice. This whole phase prioritizes psychological ease. You aren't aiming for perfection, you're just aiming to not be completely embarrassing. Which brings us to section 4. The transition to mastery. Once you survive those first 20 hours and you've got some casual competence, it's time to pivot. This is exactly where Scott Young's tactical rigor enters the picture. When you hit that inevitable plateau, you can't just keep doing the same generalized practice. You have to isolate your rate-determining step, your biggest bottleneck, and attack it. So if your essay writing is okay but your intros are super weak, don't just write another full essay. Write 20 different openings in a row. Isolate that weak link and drill it until it breaks. Young has these core principles to ensure your early momentum actually translates into deep intuition. Take retrieval, testing yourself from memory instead of just lazily rereading your notes. Or feedback, actively seeking out uncomfortably honest critiques of your work. Sure, these principles are much harder work, but they absolutely prevent you from slogging away at a mediocre level, forcing you to build genuine, lasting understanding. Moving on to Section 5, the 7-step protocol. Now we're going to synthesize both of these approaches into a literal cheat code for your very next project. This step-by-step workflow is unbelievably powerful. It starts with defining a highly specific target. So don't just say, I want to learn photography. Say, I want to manually expose and compose a portrait. Then cap your research phase. Spend no more than 10% of your time mapping the landscape. From there, you deconstruct the components, brutally drill your weaknesses, practice doing the real thing, and build constant feedback loops to quickly expose your errors. And when you finally sit down for that 20-hour sprint, your time investment should look exactly like this. Hours 0 to 2 are for mapping subskills. 2 to 5, getting the absolute bare minimum of theory. Hours 5 through 10 are for raw, high-volume, direct practice. Then, hours 10 to 15, you shift gears to drill the specific things you realize you're terrible at. Finally, spend the last 5 hours executing a real-world project. It is structured, it's ruthless, and it works. Finally, Section 6, your new intellectual filter. Hitting the end of those initial 20 hours presents you with a really critical analytical choice. You really need to treat those first 20 hours as a low-cost experiment. When the clock runs out, it's time for a diagnostic check. Did you actually enjoy the process, or was it just a shiny object? Is this skill genuinely worth a deeper investment of your time? This filter is amazing because it lets you avoid the trap of spending 6 months discovering you actually hate coding. It tells you whether to abandon the skill completely guilt-free or scale up to a longer ultra-learning campaign. Because the beautiful truth here, it literally takes just 20 hours to discover if a skill is actually right for you. Think about that for a second. In the span of a single weekend, or just a couple of weeks of evening practice, you can go from completely helpless to functionally competent. Now, once you've made it through that filter, you can absolutely choose to scale up. It takes roughly 100 hours to become highly competent and 1,000 or more hours of targeted, intense practice to become truly exceptional. But the key takeaway is that you only climb that daunting ladder for the select few skills that actually survive your 20-hour test. I absolutely love this quote because it packs such a punch. Stop treating the start like a life sentence. We paralyze ourselves by thinking that picking up a new hobby means signing away the next 10 years of our lives. You don't need a decade-long commitment to simply start enjoying a new ability today. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to challenge your procrastination. Look inward and ask yourself, is the real barrier the time it takes to master a skill, or are you simply afraid of looking foolish for those first 5 hours? I really hope this explainer helps you finally crush your next goal. Pick a target, set a timer for 20 hours, and just go get started.